Hello, welcome to Dragonmount DIY. I am Mashiara or Maureen. We are getting this started today to see how we can incorporate some more crafts into this fandom. I am a crocheter, so I'm super happy to begin this with a crochet demonstration. I am brand new to this, so please bear with me if I don't know what I'm doing. Um, let's hop over there. All right, so first of all, let's just say, okay, so I am Maureen or Mashiara. I have been a member of Dragonmount since 2000 or 1999, actually, when I was a junior in high school. You may remember me from the Dragonmount articles, What If? That was when Brandon Sanderson first took over, started giving us new content, and we were super excited for speculation, what was coming, everything like that. So I've been in the fandom quite a while, but I'm really excited to be able to bring my love of crochet with my love of Dragonmount and my love of Wheel of Time. So I'm going to show you what I've got. If you're interested in following along, this will be very much a tutorial. I'll go slow enough. You can ask questions if you need me to explain something. But all right, looks like, oh yeah, we have some people commenting. Please let me know if you can't hear me okay, or if anything's wrong on my end, because I have no idea what I'm doing. One of the life lessons of crochet is try and try again. So I'm going to apply that to this live stream because we're just going to figure it out as we go, and I'm okay with that. So for today's project, you can see I have the Filet Crochet pattern. I've also posted it in typical crochet pattern lingo, so it's going to say chain 4, skip stitch, double crochet, chain 1, skip stitch, all the way across. And that's there in the description of the YouTube live stream. You can click that if you want. The pattern's on Ravelry. It's free. It's going to have this filet crochet pattern as well as the standard pattern. Okay, and there are two. So I do have the Fang. Okay, we're going to call it a Fang, just so no one gets mad at us. And then I also have a Flame. And so these are two completely different patterns using two different types of, it all of a sudden got unfocused. Two different types of techniques. So, oh my God, the easy boards. Yes, I remember the easy boards as well. That was hilarious way back in the day. I was a member of the White Aja, so I was on the White Aja easy boards back then. All right, so I have this already made, the Fang, and I did it in black for obvious reasons. So just so you can see what it looks like, this is the one we're going to do. But notice if I flip it, since we do go back and forth, either side could be the right side. This very much looks like the Flame, and we're totally fine if we do this in blue or green or white or whatever color you want to represent your Aja, or even multicolor if you want to do an Amarlin type of pattern. So I put this as a tapestry because I'm not quite sure what else it would be other than a tapestry. So the only other option I can think of is doing a blanket. So if you wanted to, this is our base row is chain of 41. So if you just want to do multiples of 41, you can do it as long as you wanted. You could even incorporate this into the back of a cardigan. If you wanted to do that, you would just do, your 41 or another one side by side to cover the back, maybe another flame up on top. Like there's lots of ways I think we can incorporate this. Again, I apologize. I don't know how to use this. There we go. And so with that in mind, I did want to show off one other thing I've got that began my love of filet crochet. So I found this pattern online, and you can recognize it's the Triforce. And what I did is I did it in all of the colors of the temples, so we have the Goron red, we got the Zora blue, And then I did the Karoke green. Oh, shoot. Sorry, that was my camera. And so this is going to be a cocoon shrug. And so while it's very colorful and it's not going to match a lot of my outfits, I do think you could do this very easily with the pattern we're working on today. Okay, so let's look at our materials. What do we need? So I would suggest a 5mm crochet hook or whatever crochet hook you need to go with your yarn. I'm going to use Premier Basix Worsted Weight. This is just the weight I prefer. I do best if I'm using a worsted weight. I very much recommend this yarn. It's super soft. It's very nice. It's easy on your hands. So they recommend a 5.5. And I'm going to use a 5.5, but that's because my tension is super, super tight. But for everyone else, I would recommend a 5. We don't want it to be gappy. You know, you want them to be pretty close together. We're looking at a close knit fabric. So I'm going to use a 5.5. I would suggest you use a 5 or whatever your yarn recommends. Okay, I'm also going to have some stitch markers. We're going to need a needle at the end to sew in our ends. So the idea is to go as long as we need to. I don't mind doing however long it takes to finish the pattern. It's not super long. But if we get to the point where like, okay, we understand, you can continue on your own and we've reached like an hour, hour and a half, etc., I'm totally fine trusting you to go off on your own and finish your project. But we'll just see how it goes. We're just going to dive right in, give it a try. All right, so I also have the pattern. Okay. Oh, yeah, one other thing I wanted to demonstrate was the differences in these patterns. Sorry. So in the flame, we can see the negative space is done with the mesh, and then the Fang is done solid. And I think that really helps it pop. I really like that this is the solid and the background is, you know, the meshy part. But with the flame, I did it the opposite. Okay, so that's the difference between these two charts. So with the flame, I did the background solid, and then I did the flame in the mesh. And that also looks really cool. So it's really just depending on which one fits your mood. But I am going to do the Fang. Okay, this one is a little bit easier if you're a beginner filet crocheter. This creating the boxes is going to be a very, very, very simple repeat. And I'll show you how we're going to use the chart. It's actually a little bit easier using the chart than looking at the actual pattern, because we can see each of the boxes is going to be a box we make. All right, so now we can go ahead and get started. So again, I'm going to use a 5.5 crochet hook. You can use whatever you want. Oh, I didn't even get to say. So, sorry. Okay, we're going to do a slip stitch and we're going to chain 41. Okay, but before I do, I'm just going to talk a little bit about my crochet adventure. So for crocheting, it was so silly. Just, I think it was 2019, I think. I saw those pairs of dragon scale gloves, like the fingerless gloves, and they had the dragon scale, the crocodile stitch, and I just fell in love with them. And I was like, I need this in my life right now. And so I asked a friend of mine who knew how to crochet if she could show me, and she did. And so my very first project was the dragon scale gloves, which is an intermediate project. The crocodile stitch can be very, very tricky for first timers. So I just dove in head first, taking on a really ambitious project. And I think that actually helped because my motivation was very strong. I was like, I'm not going to give up because I really, really want these gloves. So that started. And then I think I really got into it about 2020, during COVID, of course, when we were all home sick, nothing better to do. I started crocheting a lot more then. And then I did a temperature blanket. And so that was really good because it got me consistent and it got me fast. And, it just kept my interest through most of the year. Like, I think I made it to October before I was like, yeah, I'm done. So I've been crocheting however long it's been, about 5 or 6 years. I am a fourth grade teacher in my real life, and I teach a crochet club at school with third and fourth graders. So that's 8, 9, 10-year-olds. And teaching them to crochet is amazing, but it's also very trying. So I feel as if I've got a ton of crochet patience just from that reason. So crochet is just such a big passion of mine, and I'm really excited to be sharing it with you all today. All right, so we are going to start. We're going to chain 41. So I guess if you're brand new to crochet, this isn't going to be a super easy demonstration, but for chaining, you just pull your hook through the loop. Like, I'm sorry, I explained it to my third and fourth graders much better. So I'm going to have to undo that because I can't count and talk at the same time. Like, I am a math teacher, I promise, but math and talking at the same time, no. Math needs all of my brain. All right, so I'm going to chain 41. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, almost there. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41. All right, so I have 41, and I'm going to put my stitch marker right there in the 41 chain. All right. Math is similar to woodworking. So I never woodworked, but I think a lot of things feel like math. Crochet definitely has a math feel to it for me. And that is one thing I try to teach my math students is that, there's a lot more math in the world than you think because logic is math. Yeah, White Aja, definitely. Problem solving is math. There's just so much. All right, so I have my chain of 41. I put my stitch marker in that last chain. This is just going to help me to remember where that bottom ends. All right, so if we're looking at our chart, looks like this. We chain 41 all the way over here. So now we're going to start going this way as we do. So notice that this is going to be row 1. So our odd rows are going to be coming from the left. That means when we're working the even rows, we're going to be coming from the right. Okay, we'll be on the back side. Okay, and having this written down really, really helped me when I was starting this because I'd be like, okay, I'm coming from the left, so I'm coming from, I'm sorry. Did I just say that the completely wrong way? Okay, let me double check. Is that my right? Is that my right hand? Like, I just want to make sure my camera's not flipped and that everything is okay. This is my right hand, and we're coming from this way, right? So odds come from the right. If that's backwards to you, let me know. Even comes from the left. All right. So we're going to go this way, and then that way, and then this way, and then that way. Okay. So that's going to help me at the start of each row. We're going to be, all right, I'm coming from the left, so I know I'm going to have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and we can count our boxes going that way. All right. So the first row is just making 20 boxes, but notice we do need a starting point and an ending point. So it's actually going to be 41 stitches. So even though 20 divided by 2 would be 40, 20 times 2 is 40. We need that extra stitch at the end to conclude the row, or else we would just have like a gap. Okay, so it looks like it doesn't make sense because it's 41 stitches across, but it will, I promise. No, I'm right-handed, yeah. Seriously, I don't. Again, my first time. Please be kind and please be gentle with me. All right, so I got my row of 41 stitches. All right, now what we're going to do is we're making our first, just pull this down a little bit. There we go. we're going to be doing our first box. So when we do our boxes, they're going to be a double crochet going up and then a chain one going across. But since we're just starting this row, we just need to chain. So we're going to chain 4. So 3 of those chains will be the double crochet going up the side. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to do one more chain. That's going to be our chain 1. All right, so remember this bottom was our corner. We need to skip 1 stitch and then go into the next one. Okay, so hold on, I'll explain it better. All right. So after we did our corner piece, do I need to scooch it closer? Let me try to, sorry. All right, so we have our corner, which is right here. We chained 4, and then we double crocheted in the 7th chain from the hook. So we went back 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 into the 7th chain is where we did our double crochet. Okay, and we can see that that made our first box. All right, and now from here, seriously, the pattern's so easy. All we do is chain 1, skip 1, double crochet. So we're going to chain 1, skip the next chain, double crochet in the next chain. Okay, and now we have 2 boxes. Guess I should have picked a different color than gray. Chain 1, skip 1, double crochet in the next chain. Okay, and now I have 3 boxes. There, let's do that. Chain 1, skip 1, double crochet in the next chain. All right, there we got 4 boxes. I'll bring this down a little bit more. All right, and we're going to do this all the way across, and we're going to wind up with 20 boxes, but 41 stitches. Chain 1, skip 1, double crochet in the next stitch. Chain 1, skip 1, double crochet in the next stitch. Oh, I guess chain. Okay, and eventually you find a rhythm to it where you just do a double crochet and then a chain. Kind of like if you've ever done the linen stitch or the moss stitch. It's very rhythmic. Oh, I'm sorry. Is it, I can slow down. I can slow down. I'm used to working with 9-year-olds. They are very slow. So I can slow down if you need me to. All right, double crochet again. Chain 1, skip 1, double crochet. 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 And I feel that this is the row that's going to require the most attention. Once we go forward, the boxes are very easy to see, and we're just going to be building on top of those boxes. So it's clear where your double crochet should go. You don't have to be so cautious about skipping a stitch. You just skip over the box or the chain 1 space. Okay, we're almost there. All right, last one, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet in that last stitch. So sometimes when I'm at the end and I have this tail, I'll pull it through, and that'll save me weaving it in later. It's pretty solid in there now. All right, so if we look at it, we're going to have 21 boxes going across. Yes, I agree. Row 1 is usually the most fiddly, especially if you're doing this longer. and you're going to chain more than 41, so 82 or 123. Yeah, that's always the worst. Doing that temperature blanket, I chained, I think it was like 300 and something. It turned out huge, but it was such an ordeal just chaining that many to start the first row. Okie dokie. So I'm going to say I'm done with this row. Went all the way across. This is another method I use when doing corner to corner. So if you've ever done corner to corner, I also like to have the grid printed off, and then I just trace the direction I've gone. Just helps me remember. I'm very much a visual learner. And so seeing it really helps ground it in my brain, which is really funny for a math teacher because usually you think, oh, numbers are just so abstract and just in your brain. But no, I need to see it. Liliandra, what is your current project? That's 208 stitches wide. That sounds daunting. All right. That was row 1. We are ready to go to row 2. Oh, cardigans are always fun. I have such great ambitions to do cardigans, and then I just barely ever finish them. The one I'm most proud of that I finished was inspired by Howl's Coat and Howl's Moving Castle, the movie, where it's got the triangles that are pink and gray. And I did it with granny square or granny clusters, and it turned out freaking amazing. But it's hot AF, so I can't wear it very often because it's way too hot. String flame, you did flame work. Flame work, like, what does that mean, flame work? What? Real-time crochet live is like the best way to spend your time ever. Nice, easy. Oh, glass blowing. Oh, cool. I've done that like only twice. But it was a lot of fun. But yeah, it scares me, just the heat of it. It's a nice lazy Saturday morning. Like hopefully everyone's in their pajamas still. I got my Dutch brothers, so I'm all ready to go and just chill here. So hopefully that's the kind of vibe we can get going. All right, so that's our row 1. We're moving on to row 2. So anytime we start another row, we're going to chain 3, and then that extra skip stitch, or sorry, chain 1 space. So every time we start, we're going to chain 4. Okay, and we're going to do the exact same thing going across for the second row. Okay, so we have just 2 rows at the bottom. That's just the pure mesh, nothing else there. Oh my gosh, yeah, I can imagine having quite a few scars from glass blowing. That sounds super scary. All right, so I'm going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3. That's my double crochet. Chain 1 more is my chain 1 space. Okay, and then we're going to turn our work. Okay, so again, now we're going from the left. We're in row 2, so we're working on quote unquote the back side. All right, so I did my double crochet, I did my chain, so I'm just double crocheting in this next double crochet. Sorry. Let's move that, see if it's better. All right, and now we just do the same thing. Chain 1, double crochet in the next double crochet. Chain 1, double crochet in the next double crochet. Okay, and so we're just stacking boxes on top of each other. Oh, so you're all in you're not even local times. I see. Okay, so you guys are way in my future. I'm way in your past. I'm like 8:30 a.m. I just rolled out of bed and got my coffee. The knitters of time. If I knew how to knit, that would be awesome, but no. I tried knitting once and I did not care for it. All right, so we're going to continue this all the way across. Chain 1, double crochet in the next double crochet. Chain 1, double crochet in the next double crochet. Yeah, and the fun thing about filet crochet or this grid type fabric is you can do so many designs. It's very pixelated. So any pixel design you have, you can do. You can change colors mid-row while doing this if you wanted to. But I like the crochet filet for its simple aesthetic and its simple construction, so changing colors I think would increase the difficulty enough that I would be like, well, why don't we just do something else instead? Because another thing I'd like to do is a mosaic, like almost the same exact pattern, but with a mosaic crochet, I think would be really, really fun to do. I just learned mosaic crochet. I think it was in the fall. I did a cottagecore crochet along for a mosaic, and I was like, I've never done a mosaic crochet before, and it was a new skill I wanted to learn, so I tried it, and it was difficult, but fun. Once you get the hang of it, of course, it becomes easier. All right, so now that I'm at the end of my row, so remember this was a chain 4. Here's my bottom corner. So I have 1, 2, 3 chains, and then that chain 1, which is my skipped space. So we should skip this one and double crochet in the third, but I actually go all the way down here to the second. I think that just gives me a better rounded, not rounded. There we go. Edge. All right, let me pull it out. We can see a little bit better. Okay, so it's going to stretch that corner a little bit more up. I think. All right, so that's our base rows. We got 2 just mesh rows. Yeah, I think crochet is actually very creative. There's so much you can do. Once you learn the basics. Like I've written a couple patterns, nothing like too fancy, but once you figure out what you want, you just think about the types of stitch you need to achieve that. So like you're going in the round and, oh, now I need to be bigger. Let's increase it or let's decrease it or let's do a treble here instead. And so one of the patterns I've written that I'm really proud of is I did a teapot elephant hat based on Tia, the elephant from Animal Crossing. And it was so much fun. Like the hat was just normal, but thinking of how to do a horn or a trunk that looked like a teapot handle or spout. There we go. And the little teapot handle on her head and then her ears. I mean, it was just a lot of fun, very creative, just thinking, how can I achieve this look? So I think it's great that it can be just very rhythmic or therapeutic or just follow the pattern and get lost in it. Especially those granny clusters is one of my favorite stitches because it's so easy to do. Like I can do it without looking, and it's just like nice and calming. But then you can also do something super complex. All right, so we went from the left. We finished round 2. We're moving on to round 3. I think that's funny that you're assuming because you're a man, you have to, you can't multitask. I think that's pretty common with a lot of us crafters. Definitely can't multitask. I mean, a little bit, but not much. All right, we're going to do row 3 now. So remember for the rows that are odd, we're going from the right. All right, so here we would see, if I wanted to say this like a normal crochet pattern, it would be my chain 4, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. But instead, since I'm looking at this, I just want to make 5 boxes. And it's much easier for my brain to think that way. So I'm going to chain 4, which is what we do at the start of every row. That counts as my double crochet and my chain 1. Okay, and then we turn our work. Okay, once this lays flat, I think you'll be able to see how nice it is that we got that extra stitch here in this corner. All right, so I want 5 boxes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm just going to double crochet chain 1 until I have 5 boxes. Double crochet chain 1. Okay, that's 2 boxes. Chain 1. Double crochet for 3 boxes. Chain 1, double crochet, that's 4 boxes. Chain 1, double crochet, that's 5 boxes. All right, so I would see that I have 5 boxes now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe we can see it better here. Get out of there. All right, so now we're moving on to the solid part. Okay, so every edge right here is going to be a double crochet, but then the middle where we would do a normal chain 1 space, it's also going to be a double crochet. So it's going to be, since we've already done that double crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 double crochets. Knitting the weave in the pattern, more or less. Maybe eventually we'll get to knitting, but we'll welcome if you're just joining us. Yeah, knitting's over my head. I can't do it. It's too much counting, honestly. All right, so I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 filled in boxes. So if I'm just counting down here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I need to do double crochets until I get to here. So actually, why don't we just go ahead and mark it with a stitch marker? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope, let's count that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, there. All right, so I'm going to do double crochets till I get to that stitch marker, and that's going to give me 5 filled in boxes. So we're not going to go into the chain. We're going to go around the chain 1. So again, this is super easy. Not at all tricky. Okay, now into the next double crochet. Now into the next chain 1 space. Into the next double crochet. Into the next chain 1 space. Into the next double crochet. So you can see my tension is crazy tight. This is why I had to go up a hook size. I just pull my yarn super, super tight. There's our double crochet. Go into the chain 1 space. And then in that last double crochet. All right. So we have our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares, and then our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 filled in squares. That got us through here. And now we just need to do open squares all the way to the end. Okay, so again, this is really not a lot of thought. Don't even need to count for this rest of this row. I just need to double crochet chain 1. So I like to do this while watching TV or watching movies. Just something nice in the background, I guess, unlike Rob, who said he wanted quiet, right? Yeah, I like it better when I have something in the background, but not something that I want to pay attention to. Sometimes I'll crochet and the movie gets too interesting and I'll stop crocheting. I'd rather not do that. All right, so we're going to make it to the end of the row. I think that's pretty common to shush people while we're counting. I do that too, or I'll just stop and recount. Oh my gosh. So since I am a 4th grade math teacher, there we go. That's our 3rd row. So it's kind of hard to see. Again, I'm sorry I picked gray yarn. I didn't even think about my gray background. Would it be better if I move this out of the way? There's got a black table underneath. Oh, I can flip it upside down. Would that be better? Let's do that. Okay, is that easier to see? Oh, yeah, that's beautiful. All right. It's sticky, but that's all right. I think we're okay. So as a as a math teacher, my kiddos, they take a test, and as a teacher, you have to circulate. You can't just let them sit there. If they see you walking, they know they're not gonna they'll be less likely to cheat, is basically the thing. Also, they have a million questions. If I sat down, a hand would go up. So anyway, I circulate. So what I do is I crochet while I'm walking and circulating. And my kiddos have a test usually every other week. And so it's lovely to be able to walk around the classroom with just, a bucket hat or something I'm doing. Of course, it kind of distracts the kids. They do say, "What are you crocheting? What are you crocheting?" And sometimes I write it up on the board so they won't ask me, like, it says right there when I'm crocheting, like, focus on your test. So I just really like that. The freedom of crochet is just so easy. I'll just tuck my yarn underneath my armpit and I'm crocheting as I'm walking. So it's really fun. And then of course it gets the kids really interested and it does help grow my crochet club. Okie dokie. So that was row 3. We went all the way across. Now we're coming from row 4. So we're coming from the left. So I'm going to have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 boxes. 12 boxes. Okay, so I'm going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ugh. Going in your book like your bad book or your good book? Oh, your writer book. I was thinking like your Good Graces book. Yes, are you a writer? Please share. Hey, how many did I say I'm doing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, 12. 12 boxes. That's 3. 4, that's 5. 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, another way to tell if you're in the correct spot is if we look at the pattern. I have 2 filled in boxes before I start another filled in box. Okay, so I just got to the edge of my open boxes and I have 2 filled in boxes before I start here, which means this is 10, 11, 12. Again, that visual learner thing just really helps my brain. This is why the chart, I think, is a little bit easier for me to see. All right, there we go. All right, now we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 filled in boxes. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. We move this to here. Okay, that's going to tell us how far we need to do our double crochets till. So we just double crochet in each one across until we get to that stitch marker. Okay, again, if you want the written out pattern, you can find it in the link in the description. I posted it on Ravelry last night. It's got the chart, but then it also has it written out in standard crochet rows and terms. A little bit easier for some of our brains. All right, there we go. Okay, and again, looking at this, I can see I have 1 box over right? One box over. And now I'm moving on to my open boxes for the last 4. So that's a chain 1, skip, double crochet, chain 1, skip, double crochet, chain 1, skip, double crochet, chain 1, and then we're going to double crochet typically in the second chain from the hook, but I'm going to go all the way down to that third one. Okay. A little bit easier to see. Hello, hello, welcome, Brother Zachariah. We're just finishing up round 4 and moving on to 5, coming from the right. I'm also, it helps a lot, I think, when we watch videos. That's just the way my brain works as well. I need to see a stitch performed typically before I'll be able to repeat it. But if I don't have that, again, it really comes back to that mathematical brain, that try again. Like seriously, I'm gonna push my math agenda on y'all. Kids just get so sad and so disheartened and so anti-math because they can't do it right away. But it's really just try again. And we call it a growth mindset. You might be familiar with that phrase. Just if it doesn't work, undo it, try it again. And that's very much my crochet motto as well. Because if I'm doing something new and I can't figure it out, I'll try it and then like, nope, that doesn't look right. Let's undo it. Try it again. Nope, it still doesn't look right. Let's try it again. It's exhausting and sometimes it's very frustrating, but it does help skills grow and patience grow. And it's something I recommend. Right. So I cut off that tail since I wove it in there already. All right. Let's move on to round 5. Everybody doing okay? Anybody have questions? Questions, comments, concerns? Yeah, I mean, leather crafting definitely. I mean, that seems like it's unforgiving because if you put a hole or something in the leather, you have to it's kind of wasted. At least with yarn, you can undo it. Or is working with math numbers, just erase it with your eraser. But yeah, I could see how leather crafting would be very difficult to commit to. Feels like your mistakes would be a little bit more costly. All right, move on to round 5. Yeah, very unforgiving, I can imagine. Um, and that's one of the things I tell the kids in the crochet club is when I give them their first skein of yarn, I'm like, it's okay if you feel like you're quote unquote wasting it. It's not wasting, you're learning. Um, that's why you're broke. I bet you that is a very expensive craft. I don't envy you. My crochet habit is expensive enough, so I can't imagine leatherworking. But I do let the kids know, like, if you need another skein, come and get one from me. Like, use this. It doesn't matter if you're wasting it. Like, it's not wasting it. You're learning. You're figuring it out. All right, we're at the end of the row, so we're going to chain 4 and turn. All right, and that counts as our double crochet and our chain 1. Yeah, knitting's probably pretty cheap. A lot cheaper than leather crafting, I bet. All right, so I have 3 open boxes, so I'm just going to crochet in the next double crochet. That's 1. Chain 1, skip 1, double crochet, that's 2. Chain 1, skip 1, double crochet, that's 3. Right, so that's my 3 empty boxes. Okay, there we go. Need to stretch it a little bit more. Even with my 5.5 millimeter hook, which is bigger, it's still a little tight. All right, so we can see I still have this open box here. I'll need to fill. I need to do 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we need to stop here. Oh, it got stuck. All right, so that's going to be how many? So we're going to double crochet until we get to that stitch marker. Don't forget to double crochet in that chain one space. We can see on this map, whatever chart, we have one empty spot underneath us before we start. Okay, so we're just going to double crochet all the way across. I'm sorry, not all the way across. Double crochet until we get to that stitch marker. And it's always good to just check in with your pattern every now and then. Make sure the boxes are lining up. Okay, so I had 3 empty. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 filled. Okay, and then I'm just going to do empty boxes all the way across. Yeah, it can be sad to undo some of your projects, but I don't know. Sometimes it's worth it. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes I'll let mistakes stand because it's not worth the effort of going back and changing it. Because that's another thing, especially good to teach our little students, is that you don't have to be perfect. Not everything's going to be perfect. If there's a mistake, it's okay. We can move on and continue. So yeah, lots of life lessons in math and crochet. Bet you weren't anticipating a pro math lecture, but I'm going to give it to you anyway. Okay, and you can see once you get the hang of this, those empty boxes are just nice and easy. Don't even think about it, you just do it. Okay, I'm going to skip 3 stitches. I'm sorry, skip 2 and crochet, double crochet in the third. Okay, and so you can see this edge is looking a lot cleaner than it typically would. It just gives it a better corner, I think. Not that one. That one looks really weird. I messed up or something there. But the other ones look nice. Oh, our fairy traps. Okay. I have heard that. Is that there's an Irish legend that if you make a mistake, your soul can get out or something? Fairy trap. Yeah, I think a lot of crocheters or even just crafters in general tend to be perfectionists. And that's why we don't ever use our good yarn, or we don't ever use our fancy stickers or fancy paint. And no, that's not good. You gotta use your fancy paint. You gotta use your fancy yarn. You gotta learn from the mistakes. Chess. Chess is okay. Chess is too advanced for my brain. Like even though I'm a visual learner, I can't see the pieces the way you're supposed to in chess. Why the double stitching in the last? Um, to make this corner. So we did a double crochet, a stitch, and then we double crocheted into the chain because we use our chain to turn it. And you can see it looks like a circle, and we don't want that. So when we put our double crochet here, it's going to stretch it and turn it into a square. Does that make sense? There's lots of other techniques. You can do some people do a double crochet. Like you can just turn it without the chain and then do a standing double crochet. Looks like this. And it gives you kind of like 2 stitches height. And some people really favor that. It's going to give you a nice clean edge as well as a regular stitch on top that you can stitch into. But it's a lot of effort, I think. I'd rather just do the chain 4. So it's really just personal preference. You can customize this as much as you want. You want it to look super fancy. Like that looks super fancy. but I don't need it to look super fancy. This one's actually going to be for my mom because she is gray Aja. So that's why I'm going to take a couple cheats, cut a couple corners. So, yep, it's really up to you what you want to do for those sides. After we're done, you do have the option of adding like a border if you want. And oh shoot, I didn't bring it, and I was going to. I'd done a corner to corner tapestry that actually I need to get sent to somebody who's going to JordanCon this year to be in the auction. That's Pixel, Moraine, and Suan with a heart between them, and it's really cute. But I did like a fan border around it, and it looked really good. So you could do a fan border or any other kind of border on this, and then the edges won't matter because they'd be covered up anyway. So doing something fancy might not be worth the time. Okay, okay. I think trying any new hobbies or games or learning things should never stop, honestly. I think as adults, we tend to be like, oh, I'm an adult, blah, blah, blah. But I think it's best to always be learning. All right, we're on row 6. That means we're coming from the left. That means I need to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 boxes. So I can even just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 boxes. Oh, yep, it's going to line up. Okay, so I just need to go till the double crochet start. So I can use that as my visual. All right, so my chain 4 counts as my double crochet and my chain 1. So I can just double crochet in the next double crochet. Chain 1, double crochet. Chain 1, double crochet. But a lot of times when I'm crocheting at school, especially if I'm walking around the class, the kids will be like, "How did you get so good?" And I was like, "Duh, you practice." Like I go home after school and I probably crochet every single night, sometimes hours. Like if you're doing it every single day, you're gonna grow your skills. Same as basketball, same as piano, same as math. So go home and practice your math. You'll get better at it. So just keep following these open circles till we get to the edge of the fang. Okay, there we go. All right, so now we're starting with the fang again. If we look at our drawing, it's even here where we are, but it's going to go one longer. So instead of stopping here, I'm going to stop here. Okay, again, if this is not making any sense for your brain, please, please, please go download the actual written directions. I worked very hard to make sure it made sense with skipping stitches and double crochets and chain ones, and instead of just like, let's eyeball it and see how many we need. All right, so I'm going to double crochet until I get to that stitch marker. Okay, I like this way because it does allow me to talk and use other parts of my brain instead of focusing on counting, which is super nice. Oh, but one of the things I was going to say about crocheting while I'm walking around my classroom is I have to restart my counting a million bazillion times. So if I'm starting my, first row of a bucket hat, when it's 8 half double crochets in the magic circle, I have to undo it umpting times because, oh, I got a question. Oh, I got a question. I got a question. All right, so that was the end of our Fang. We have 2 more open boxes at the end. So I'm going to chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, and I'm going to double crochet in the third one over. Okay. So again, my tension, I probably should have went up another hook side. I probably should have used a 6, but that's okay for our purposes. And actually the other ones, the white and black ones I showed earlier, these I actually had to block. So they look a little bit nicer just for that reason. Oops, sorry, that turned out weird looking. Got all crazy bright. This one, even though I blocked it, still looks kind of wonky down here, but that's okay. We don't have to be perfect. We're never perfect all the time, so it's okay. All right, so we finished up row 6, moving on to row 7. Damn, we are approaching the hour mark. We're not even halfway done. All right, row 7, we're coming from the right. I have 2 empty boxes, so I'm going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn my work. That counts as the double crochet and the chain 1, so I just need to double crochet in that first double crochet, chain 1, double crochet in the next double crochet, and that gives me my 2 boxes. All right, so notice for 7, 8, and 9, our double crochets are just right on top of each other. So I just need to double crochet from here to here for the next 3 rows. Okay, so very little thought involved. Just double crochets. I'm sorry, String Flame, did I miss you saying that you were a writer? Do I need to go back and double check the notes? Oh my gosh, no, I see now. Liliandra, what you said about the fairy traps. That's cute. So to make sure the children don't get stolen from the fairies. Okay. All right, so we got our double crochets on top of our double crochets. Since we are flip-flopping every single time, there is a little bit of a slant to the double crochets. But again, I think if we block it, those do get minimalized. Unfortunately, I don't think there's a better way to do that. Because if you go from only one way, I think it's just going to slant one direction. This at least balances it. Okay, dokie. So now we're going to finish this row. Let's chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, all the way across. Just nice and easy. Yeah, the way I understand that this works is it's recording and it'll be there forever. So if you need to leave, you can watch it later or just go grab that pattern. You can follow that. Hopefully now that you've got the basics, not too much of a struggle once you understand what you're doing and just making these open boxes or closed boxes. Not too tricky. Okay, and I'm going to double crochet in that third chain from the hook. Right. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with the way the edge looks. It's pretty straight. It's pretty nice. All right. Thank you, friends, for joining. I understand if you've got to go. So I'll keep going until we feel like we don't want to go anymore. All right. I'm moving on to row 8. If our discussion wants to turn more Wheel of Time, I am okay if we discuss books, TV show, anything. If you don't know, I am on the Dragonmount podcast. So I am up to date with all of our latest gossip and tidbits that they've been releasing in preparation for season 3. We are definitely here to talk about Wheel of Time as well. Okay, so remember for this row, our double crochets are just going to sit on top of our double crochet. So I'm just going till I see those double crochets. Don't need to count. Don't need to do anything. Just going to keep going till I get to those double crochets right there. Okay, that was that whole part, right? We're on 8. Where's my pencil? Okay, we're just going to stack the double crochets on top of the double crochets. And then 2 open boxes to complete the row. I guess we're following a pattern. Because I'm probably going too fast to follow if you're new. Ugh. All right, so I finished up my double crochet row. We're going to do 2 more open boxes. Chain 1, double crochet. Chain 1, double crochet. And it's going to give us a nice pretty edge right there. All right, so that finished up row 8. We're moving on to row 9, coming from the right. We'll be on the right side of the fabric. Okay, again, I say right side, but with these patterns, obviously you can flip them and it's identical. So you can do a fang and have it be a flame, or you can do a flame and have it be a fang. It's really the exact same thing. Right, I'm going to chain 4. That counts as a double crochet and a chain 1, and then turn my work. All right, so this is the last row that's going to be the same as this. So again, I'm just going to do 2 opens, double crochet till I reach the end, and then opens all the way. Okay, so that was my double crochet and my chain 1. So I just double crochet in the next double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. Okay, that gives me my 2 boxes. And then I'm just going to double crochet all the way to my double crochet's end. I do have some other crochet tutorials where I go a lot slower, because for those I can edit them and so and speed up the video, so it doesn't take as long as this if we're doing it live. I don't know what that is. I don't know how to fix that. Okay. All right, so now I'm just going to do my open boxes all the way across. And so they did release that 11-minute preview of season 3, episode 1. I don't know if you all were able to watch it, so I won't go into specific details just in case you haven't had a chance to watch it. But it was the first 11 minutes of the first episode of season 3, and it was phenomenal. Just so, so exciting to get back into the story and seeing what happens to the characters. And, it's different than our novels, but not in a bad way, I don't think. There we go. Not looking so bad. That's how many times you did watch the trailer? I've only watched it once, unfortunately. I haven't had a lot of time this past week. I will go on and on about my plight as a teacher and how little time I have for fun things sometimes. All right, that was row 9. They are all done. Moving on to row 10. All right, we're picking up speed. I bet you I can finish this by the end. I bet you I'm going to give myself another half hour, and I bet I can be done. I'm going to challenge myself. All right, we're at the end of the row. So let's chain 4 and turn. Okay, we're going to, no, let's double check. Did I say I'm on the right one, Sam? Okay, good. So I'm doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 open boxes. So that's going to be, it's hard to tell here. So I'm going to count down here. Okay, it's hard to tell which ones of these are boxes. So I'm going to count 11 down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, and thanks to our lovely grid pattern, I can just go straight up. And now I need to go till here. Oh, I counted the wrong direction. Whoops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch it more closely because, as one of the Dragonmount podcasters, we really do very, very close examinations. If you were able to see our first podcast episode of this season, we looked at the 2-minute trailer and we talked about it for like an hour and a half. And that was just 2 minutes. So if we are able to talk about the 11 minutes sneak peek, I'm sure we could talk much, much longer than that. And so when the 2-minute trailer came out, that I watched several times, and I had it in slow motion, stopping it frame by frame just to make sure I was seeing everything I could see. And I'll need to do the same with this sneak peek, but I haven't had a chance yet. Okay, I'm just going to double check my math. All right, so I am on row 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. And it looks like I have 2 boxes over. Yes, I do. Okay. All right, I am still lining up. Okay. Oops, sorry. Hey, notice for all the rows going up till we get to 15, it's going to be in line. So I just know I need to stop here. Yes, I am one that's definitely pro TV show, obviously. I do a podcast about it. It's fun to think of it as just a different turning of the wheel. Like we know it's happens over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And so this is just one turning after the novels or before the novels or 10 times after the novels. It could be a million turnings after the novels. So it's the same characters, the same basic gist, but there's going to be differences, and yeah, they can take liberties or show things differently than you could in a novel. And definitely this is a medium for showing some fancy different things that would be hard to do in a novel. Okay, so I finished my double crochets. Moving on to my last 2 open boxes. That's a chain 1, a double crochet, chain 1, and a double crochet. Right, that was row 10, all the way done over there. Right, not bad so far. Moving on to round 10. I'm just going to fold this under. Nope, sorry. Now we're on row 11. Right, odd rows, I'm coming from the right. So I have 2 open boxes. Okay, and then I need to stop 3 boxes in. Okay, so if I stop 1, 2, 3 boxes in, that means I need to stop here. So I like this because I can use landmarks on the grid to help me know when I need to stop. Definitely helps with the counting. Okay, I'm at the end of the row, so I'm going to chain 4 and turn. Okay, and that counts as our double crochet and our chain 1 space. Right, so I'm going to double crochet in the next double crochet, chain 1, double crochet in the next double crochet. Right, and that gave me 2 boxes. And now I'm just going to do double crochets all the way across till we get to the stitch marker. Yeah, I can see that with the graphic novel as well. I've only read New Spring in its graphic novel form. But yeah, they can show it differently. They can, the images they draw focuses on a different part of the room than what's being described by Robert Jordan in the novels. And I think in New Spring, the graphic novel, there was a lot more hands-on with Maureen and Suan than, the book alluded to it, but didn't show it on screen as far as I remember. But I think there were drawings in New Spring, the graphic novel, that had them like holding hands or being in each other's arms or something, if I remember correctly. Okay, so now I'm going to do 3 closed boxes over these 3 empty boxes. I'm sure there's a technical word for these, but I don't know what it is. Okay, and then that's the last one. All right, so I can see I've got 1, 2, 3 boxes over, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and now I'm just going to do open boxes all the way to the end. So we're going to chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, all the way to the end. One thing in particular about the sneak peek that I'm really interested to go back and looking at is the 13th depository, which, if I remember correctly, is where they keep the Terangrial and Sa'angrial and other objects of the power. And so I know, I just want to look at the images of what's in there. Like, how are they showing some of these objects, or what are some of these objects? Sorry, I missed a stitch. And how is the TV show going to portray them? So I have to go back and look at that scene extra close because I want to see what all they're alluding to, like what might come in the future. Since we are looking at a different turning of the wheel, are we even going to get like the Bowl of the Winds storyline? And maybe we won't, because maybe the Bowl of the Winds is there in the 13th depository. Right, I'm on row 12, going to the right. I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 boxes. So I'm going to chain 4. Turn my work. Okay, 7 boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which means I got to stop right here. So, sorry, since that counted as a double crochet in our chain 1, we can double crochet in the first double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, There's a leather bracer in there. Is that the one that was stolen? Is that the one that they took? Or a different kind of leather bracer? Yeah, I heard somebody mention the interesting door, but I didn't see it because like I said, I only watched it once so far. So I do need to go back and super excited that that interesting door might be what we're thinking it is. Um, and so, okay, sorry, I guess we are going to go into some spoilers. So, if you haven't read the books, haven't watched any of the series, put it on mute or go away. Um, so yeah, we're assuming that the one they took was the access key, right? The sangreal that accesses the children call. Okay, we're going to do our double crochets all the way till our double crochet stop. Which does make an appearance in this book, because they're doing mostly book 4, I believe, for this season. They saw it. Right? Doesn't Rand see it in Ruidian? But okay, now I'm trying to remember. Rand sees them both in Ruidian, but Rand has them both. Moraine never has it, does she? It did look like it was leather to me as well, but maybe it's a metal that looks like leather. Maybe it was made with the one power and it's something we have no way to comprehend. That's definitely possible. But if they do have the access key to the Children Call, like that's crazy to think of that being in the hands of Dark Friends. Hello, hello. Welcome for joining us. Sorry, we're halfway done, I think. All right, so I finished my rows of double crochets. So I just need to do my 2 open boxes at the end. Chain 1, double crochet. Chain 1, double crochet. Okay. Okay, looking pretty good so far. You can tell it's making a shape. Yeah, I have no idea about. I mean, obviously, they wouldn't make a real metal one. I think that would be not cost effective for the props. But yeah, it did look like leather to me as well. All right, we're on row 13. We're coming from the right-hand side. So I'm going to start with those 2. Oops, I'm sorry. I hit the microphone. 2 open boxes. And then notice for these next ones, they're going to end at the same. So I just need to go from here to here. So I'm just going to duplicate that chain or that double crochet section. Okay, so this is going to require absolutely no counting at all. So I'm going to chain 4, which counts as a double crochet and a chain 1, and then turn my work. Double crochet in the first double crochet, chain 1. Okay, double crochet in the next double crochet. Okay, that gives me my 2 open spaces. And I'm going to double crochet all the way till I get to here. I also thought it was really interesting in that sneak preview. Okay, so we're doing spoilers just in case you've just joined us, of the TV show and the sneak peek that they released this week. I thought it was interesting the way that the Black Asha did choose to reveal themselves so openly. Like right there in the hall. And then Suan even said, "You're Black Aja," whereas we have, who was it, Seraine in the books, thinks she gets the task of searching for the Black Aja from Elida, but that really isn't what Elida meant. And it's done tiptoeing around and it's done in secret and no mention of Black Aja in these walls. But this was just so open. and super divisive, I guess, is what they're going for, just to lead to the split in the tower, I'm assuming. Like if Suan let the Black Aja grow in the tower, she wasn't strong enough. And I'm pretty sure that's why Elida will come in, I'm assuming, and take over. Okie dokie. So I made all my double crochet stitches. So now I'm going to do my open boxes all the way to the end. Okay, chain one, double crochet, get that open box. Chain one, double crochet, all the way to the end. And so I think this is going to get the split in the tower going a lot faster than we saw it in the books. Because I think it happened in what, book 5, book 6, when that finally happened? Right, and then double crochet in that third stitch. Very nice. That was row 13. Coming from the right. Now we're on row 14, coming from the left. Okay, and we're just going to repeat that row, the proportions of that row. So again, I'm going to do open boxes to here, double crochet till here, open boxes. Not too tricky. So in the, not in the preview, but in the trailer, so chain 4, turn to work. In the trailer, we did see that some scenes from Andor with Morghese and Elida. And so according to that, Elida looks like she's still in Andor. So I wonder what's going to happen to get her to the tower. Unless, they're going to make it with Gawain and Galad coming, that, oh, well, the prince, shoot, what do they call him? Dang it, what is Gawain's title? I can't remember. Okay, that was my open boxes. Now I'm going to double crochet across. It's not sword bearer. Oh my gosh. She's the daughter heir and he's the I can't even recall. Anyway, so maybe that was why Elida accompanied them there. Like, oh well, they're gonna go now to train. So she's gonna go with them. I don't know. It just seems weird that she would decide to go randomly. I think pretty confident in the books she went because, Elaine met Rand and she noticed Rand was central to the weave at the time and needed more information. But it seems weird that she would just randomly leave her post as the advisor to the queen. Unless we do know Raven, right, has been cast, so maybe he compels her to go away. Or maybe she just can tell it's getting funky in Andor with shadow people all around, maybe. I don't know. First Prince of the Sword, thank you. I was like, sword, like something consort, but that's if they're married. Right, so I made my double crochets all the way across. Now I have 2 empty boxes at the end, so chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. All right, how are we doing on time? Uh-oh. Gotta go faster. Was that 14? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yes. All right, 15 from the right. Let's go fast, go fast. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, that 4 chains counts as a double crochet in a chain 1. So we double crochet in that first double crochet, chain 1, double crochet in the next double crochet. All right, and that got us our 2 boxes. We're on 15. Yep. Okay, so again, we're going straight to those double crochets end. Okay, we are almost there. We can do this. I actually really like that in the trailer when it had the time. It just sounded mystic. Very nice. I liked it a lot. Yeah, I'm very, very excited. I can't even wait. And so one of the other crochet projects I would like to do is I have a little thing I make called a bun hugger that just goes, over your bun. So if you like put your hair in a bun, it is just like a bun cover that would go like on top of it. And they're super cute. And I done one that looked like groundhogs for Groundhog's Day. And I got one I worked on that was like a turkey for Thanksgiving and, just silly ones like that. But anyway, I want to make one with the Aja colors since the flag of Tarvalon is, the flame in the center and then the Aja colors kind of swirl around it. This pattern kind of makes it swirl automatically. So that's my plan to work on so I can wear them on premiere day. So we'll see if that happens or not, but that's my goal at least. Got lots of Wheel of Time crafts circulating in my brain. Right. Like I was thinking, if we wanted to do like a Gleeman's cloak, I think that would be really cool where we could just do a whole bunch of like granny squares or just regular squares and stitch them together, but they could be patchwork in nature. We could do it as a cardigan or we could even do it as a regular cloak. All right, so I made it all the way to the end of my double crochet. So now I'm going to do open boxes the rest of the way. Chain one, double crochet. Oops, I missed that stitch. Chain one, double crochet. Chain one, double crochet. All the way to the end of the row. And then I did say earlier, but I'll repeat it. I would like to try maybe a mosaic crochet with something similar to this same design. I think that would be really fun to do. All right, so that is done with row 15. Moving on to row 16. Let's pop this down here. We can see, there we go. 16, we're coming from the left. We're going to do open boxes until we get to that double crochet spot. Okay, but now we're going to start decreasing our double crochets. So when I get to where the double crochet should end, I'm going to stop one short. So it would be right here. So I'm going to chain 4, turn my work. Okay, and I'm going to double crochet till I get to, chain 1 double crochet till I get to the big batch of double crochets. So double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, and keep going. And again, I do have the written out pattern if reading this chart is not working for your brain. The written out chart sounds like a normal crochet pattern. Okay, I am a visual learner, so I can sort it out just by looking at the grids on this. It makes it easier for my brain, but that's not everybody. Not everybody's brain is the same. So I do tell that to my math students at school. Like, it's because it's easy for you doesn't mean it's easy for everyone else. All right, so now we're going to double crochet across, but we're going to stop one short. Okay, so I need to have 3 empty boxes here. Now, if we want to move our stitch marker, we can do that. So it needs to end here. That'll give us 3 empty boxes at the end. Right, so now I'm just going to double crochet up till I get to that stitch marker. Another thing that could potentially be fun would be a more detailed tapestry crochet. I haven't ever done a tapestry crochet, so that would be something I'd be interested in doing. And then we could get a little bit more detailed. I like the filet crochet because it is, simplistic, nice little flame or a nice little fang, something pixelated and cute. You can tell that this is a pretty simple skill to learn. It's just double crochets and chains. The hard part's reading the chart and figuring that out with the flips and stuff. But not too tricky. So I think doing something a little bit trickier would be nice if we did a tapestry. I don't know, maybe something with the white tower. Obviously, my allegiances are more Aes Sedai E than anything else. Oh, maybe we could do a dice. Like, what if we did the matte logo of the dice around in a circle? That would be cool. We could probably do that as a mosaic crochet as well. All right, so now I'm going to do my 3 open boxes at the end. So chain 1, skip 1, double crochet. Chain 1, skip 1, double crochet. And then chain 1, skip 1, double crochet in that 3rd chain from the hook. Okay. Not so bad. Okay, so that was row 16. At row 17, we're coming from the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so again, we're increasing our open boxes. So I'm going to stop here with my open boxes. And then we are stopping 1 short as well over here. So I would stop there. So I'm going to chain 4 since I'm on the end of the row. Turn your work. Okay, double crochet in that first double crochet. Chain 1, double crochet in the next double crochet, chain 1, double crochet in the next double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet in the next double crochet. Okay, so it looks like this. We are making this part right here where it goes in. Okay, so I went from 2 to 3 to 4 open boxes. Okay, and then we're also going to be doing that over here. So you can see I'm going to decrease 1 on this side as well. So I'm going to have 1 more empty box here. So we can move our stitch marker. We need 1 more empty box, so we're going to stop with our double crochets right there. So back to the sneak preview, we have Nynaeve at the tower. I really thought that this was going to be another moment where she got scared enough to channel, but in the preview, she didn't get scared enough to channel. So I guess they're really going to, make that block very, very significant for her. So I don't know. I don't know when she's going to break it. So yeah, I was really like, oh my God. Because, when she healed everybody in season 1 episode, I think it was 3, The Dragon Reborn, like that was just the most amazing part of that first season. I thought I just adored that scene. It was amazing. And so I was really hoping, like even in season 2 at the end where she wasn't able to heal Nynaeve. I know Nynaeve was not able to heal Elaine when she got that arrow in her leg. I was like, okay, no, she's going to be able to do it. She's going to be able to do it. And she couldn't. And then so here, same thing. She couldn't do it. So yeah, they're really making this block apparent. And, I like that. That's good. It's going to make a very stark contrast when she does finally break it. All right, so we stop there. We're going to do our open boxes. So we'll chain 1, skip 1, double crochet in the next stitch, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet, and we're going to do that to the end of the row. If you're still with us, thanks for hanging in there. We are almost to the point where we can do it lickety split fast. We got one more row of double crochets to finish the design, and then we are just going to complete our last 2 rows, which is just empty boxes all the way across. All right, double crochet in that last stitch. All right, well, I think it looks pretty good so far. All right, we got one more row. So we're going to skip 2 coming because we're done with this one. We're coming from the right now. Okay, so we're going to have to add 2 more rows. Sorry, 2 more open boxes. Okay, so it looks like we're going to stop there. Right, that would be empty box 1, empty box 2. Perfect. Okay, and then also over here, we're going to stop 1 box early. I guess I have another stitch marker. Right there. Okay, at the end of the row, we chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we turn our work. Okay, we're going to skip that, double crochet in the next double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet until we get to that stitch marker. And then this is going to be our last row that requires any thought. Okay, so I got to where my double crochet started on the row before. Okay, and we have to go 2 further than that. Okay, so we'll go 1, 2, so we can stop right there. It's going to give us 2 more open boxes. So chain 1, skip 1, double crochet. Chain 1, skip 1, double crochet. Okay. So 2 extra boxes that are open. Okay, and then we're just going to double crochet across until we get to that next stitch marker. And so back to Nynaeve. So I wonder if they're going to have her break her block like they did in the book, or is that going to be too complex? Because we do see from the trailer, Maggedian is more prevalent in this one, and she's the one that helps kind of break through Nynaeve's block. So it might happen in a different way, but still Maggedian, I think is how you say her name. She still might be, the cause of it. All right, so we can see that it was, oh, nope, I need to go one more. Okay, sorry, I put that in the wrong spot. It needs to be just 1 shorter. So 1 shorter would be here. So I'm going to do 2 more double crochets. Okay, it is always best to double check every now and then to make sure we're doing it right. Okay, that's perfect. All right, now we can just do our open boxes. So chain 1, skip 1, double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet until we get to the end. And then we're going to double crochet in that chain. There we go. All right, so that's the whole entire flame pattern. The next 2 rows are just like the beginning 2 rows where we just do the mesh all the way across. So I don't need my stitch markers anymore. I can take those off. Yes. You think it'll be her block will break sooner because it's annoying. Okay, yeah, I can totally see that. Even as a not casual fan, um, I'm annoyed that she hasn't been super badass yet. That one scene in season 1 where she was, I mean, not that she's not still a total badass, but um, being a badass with the power is what would be nice to see. Um, so obviously pretty badass that she came out of the tested Terang after everybody gave up hope. But I'd really like to see her go crazy with the power again. All right, so now we are just doing these mesh open boxes. So once we get here, we chain 1, skip 1, double crochet. We need to make sure we skip 1 because it's not so easy to see where the edges of our boxes are. So chain 1, skip 1, double crochet. Okay. So every time we chain 1, we skip 1. Chain 1, skip 1, double crochet in the next. Okay, and it goes pretty fast when we're only doing these because it's about half the stitches we would normally do. Okay, and now we're back on top of the open boxes, so now it's just very easy to see where your double crochet should go. So we were talking about the leather bracer, I think is what it's what's called. And it instantly made me think of like the sad bracelets, except not connected. Like how Elaine eventually is able to recreate the Adam, but without the attached chain. So when I saw that, I immediately thought of the sad bracelets, but maybe not having it be attached. So I don't know. We'll see. Right. So we've got, that was row 19. And sorry, we came from the right. And so we just have this last row. Bet you I can do it in a minute and a half. 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn our work. Okay. And so this one, we're just going to chain 1 and double crochet on each double crochet across. It's pretty simple row to complete this whole project. And I'm sorry it took me this long. I typically do proclaim to be a fast crocheter, but my attention, I'm sorry, was divided between wanting to talk about Wheel of Time as well. So we're on hour and 42 minutes. If you sat down to do this project on your own, I really don't think it would take you that long. It's pretty quick once you get the hang of it. Okay, just a couple more. Oh, so another thing about with the trailer, when Elaine tells Rand, make them believe in you and they'll follow you anywhere. Like, I wonder how much time alone Rand and Elaine are going to have. Like, if there's going to be the budding romance there, or if he's still so hung up on Celine / Lanfear. All right, double crochet in that last stitch. And we're done. Okay. I'm going to cut my yarn, fasten off that stitch, and ta-da! There we go. Hello, Thatcher. Welcome. We are now all done. All right, there we have it. So it looks like here. Now we have a nice, pretty Aes Sedai flame done in gray to represent the gray Aja. And I'm going to give this to my mom just to be a little like doily type thing that can sit on her dresser somewhere. My mother did come to JordanCon with me one time, and she's never read The Wheel of Time, so she was completely lost, but she's nice and she's friendly. So she had a great time at JordanCon with all the Wheel of Time fans. And so, she wanted to be more included. So we did figure out she would be Grey Aja. So this will be something, just to make her think of her time she went to JordanCon and how fun it was. Uh, yes, welcome. So Thatcher, I'm sorry, this is crochet, not knit. So if you don't know how to knit, that's awesome because this is crochet and you can learn to crochet because anybody can learn to crochet. But thank you for joining us. I'm glad that something is niche as crafts or crochet or knit um, was still enough to draw you to this event. But unfortunately, we are all done. We finished this. It took us an hour and 45 minutes. So um, there you have it. Again, you can find the link for this on the description underneath the YouTube video. It's listed on my Ravelry page. And so Ravelry is a great site. It's great for finding free patterns. Okay, and all my patterns there are free. So this will be free. It has the Filet Crochet pattern like this, but it then also has it written out. So two different ones. It has the one that has the open mesh with the negative space and then the solid being the flame. But then it also has this one where the negative space is solid and then the flame is what's mesh. Okay, so two different things, but eventually the same design. Oh, embroidery would be fun. Oh, a hand mark embroidery would be super neat. I've never actually done embroidery, but it's something I would definitely look into, see if we could do. That would be fun. Okay, so I guess I'm done. Let's switch back over to this view so you can see my pretty face a little bit better. Anyway, so thank you for joining me. I really appreciate those of you that were here. My inaugural Dragonmount DIY featuring this crochet pattern that I wrote, especially for this live stream. So I appreciate you staying with me. I appreciate your encouragement and helping me learn how to do this. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Dragonmount on all the different sources or media sites we have. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, X, and Twitch, YouTube. Anyone we got or you have, we're there as well. I am Maureen, but I go by Mashiara on Dragonmount. But I also have a crochet business called Filet Crochet. You can follow me as well. I think I listed some of my social media links in the description as well. So you can check out some of the stuff I do. Not everything's Wheel of Time based, some of it's other things, but I will try my best to incorporate more Wheel of Time things as we go forward with this Dragonmount DIY live stream. The plan is to do this monthly. It'll be the last Saturday of the month. And so set your calendars. We'll do it next month, the last Saturday of the month. And I'd love to have you all join me again. Let me just make sure. Da-da-da-da. Oh, yeah. You could definitely turn it into a book bag. So if you crochet these together, oh, see, now I'm on the wrong link. Let me switch back. So if you wanted to stitch these together on the sides and the bottom, it would definitely be a great bag because it's solid enough. A book won't fall through there. I wouldn't suggest it for a purse because keys or coins or things would fall out, but definitely you can use it for that. I would also suggest you could use it as you can do a cardigan or something if you stitch them together, or even just do a longer sample. Instead of chaining 41, you would chain 82 or 123. All right, but I'm going to go ahead and sign off now. Thank you, my friends, for joining me. Let me switch back over here. I appreciate you taking the time on your busy Saturdays to come and join us. And there's my button. I apologize. Give me 2 seconds. There it is. All right, again, thank you for joining me. I'm Mashiara or Maureen, and I'll see you next time.